Here's a very good description of why some car dealers don't have titles for the cars on their lot. Dealerships operate under a finance agreement called a floor plan or a floor line. What that means is all the cars on a car dealer's lot are usually financed with a line of credit the dealer arranges to hold their inventory. Why is that important? Well, if you're a person who've purchased a vehicle as a consumer from a car dealer and didn't get the title, it could be because they did not have the title to transfer to you because somebody else is holding it. These finance companies that dealerships use for their inventory hold on to the title documents until they pay off that car. So if a dealer has a car in their lot, you would think that they would have a title certificate like this that they could just sign over the back and give it to you or put it in your name. But if they have a credit line on that vehicle, that lender is going to hold that title under the floor plan line of credit. Now, when they sell you the car, they get the money from you or from your lender, whoever lent you the money, and they're supposed to take that money, give it to that floor plan creditor, and get the title so they can transfer it to you. But what if they're short on cash? What if they need to make payroll? What if their rent is due? What if the owner just wants extra cash in his pocket for vacation? The dealership can elect not to pay off the car, let you float with temporary tags or paper tags for some period of time, thinking, well, maybe later I'll pay it off, and they never do. And if they don't, that floor plan lender now holds that title, and they're technically the owner of the vehicle, that floor plan. So we worked with a client last week where this is what has happened. They put $6,000 down on a $20,000 vehicle. They financed about $14,000, $15,000 with taxes. The dealership had a line of credit with their bank, and the bank was holding the title. The dealership then started to stop answering phone calls. They didn't answer emails, and eventually they stopped selling cars off the lot. It turns out they had 9 cars that they had sold and didn't pay off the line of credit with their lender. The average car was about $22,000, so they had almost $200,000 worth of cars that they were what's called out of trust. That's what it's called when you don't pay off your floor plan. It's called being out of trust. And now all these people, these 9 people, had cars they paid for and couldn't get a title. What's worse is some of the people financed the car with their own bank. Their bank paid the dealer, and now their bank is saying, hey, you need to make us payments for a car that you can't even register. In this case, we arranged for the consumer to be able to go to that floor plan lender and negotiate. They have to pay some money and get the title for it. Doesn't always work that way, but that's one thing you can do. Sometimes you can file a consumer restitution complaint with the dealer licensing board, and the licensing board will has a fund where they can pay that off. The other thing you can do is you can file for a court-ordered title. And the court sometimes will step in and say, look, this consumer paid for this car fair and square, and they'll tell the lender, too bad, you're out of luck, you need to release the title. A judge can do that, a court can do that, because you can show a bill of sale, you paid for the vehicle, you can show it was a licensed dealer, you can show you did everything right, and the court can say, for equitable fairness, we will force the lender to give up the title, the floor plan lender. So this is another example you see on the screen here. There was a dealer in New York not paying for cars. And this one was $882,000, almost $1 million. And the lender was CarMax. We'll talk about why they were the lender. They want to get their car back. So all these cars, they want them back. I don't care if you sold them or not. So why is CarMax a lender? Well, here's what happens. CarMax auctions off a lot of cars to dealers. When CarMax buys cars from consumers, they don't put them all on their lot. Some cars are too old, too many miles. Maybe it's not the kind of car they want to sell. So when CarMax buys cars from people that they don't want to sell on their own car lots, they hold auctions where if you're a licensed dealer, you can go to a CarMax auction and buy these cars. CarMax will finance them for you. So you can go to these auctions. If you are a licensed dealer, you bid on the car, I bid $8,000, fine, you won. And you don't have to pay for the car right then. You can take it back to your lot, clean it up, sell it, and then when you sell it, then you can pay them It's a way you can expand your inventory. And here's the description. One dealer had almost $1 million for 125 cars it bid at for auctions over the past 2.5 years. Allegedly, this place is called Mike Soretta Auto Sales, and this CarMax case went to U.S. District Court. Again, court-ordered title. The defendants represented to CarMax that they had adequate financing to complete payment for the vehicles. Okay, but they never did. They never sold them, or they never transferred them. The auto sales consist of a small office and a dirt sales lot, and they basically got these cars, and they sold them. As an example, Soretta bought a Kia for $30,000, and then he bought another one for $5,000. Failed to pay for these cars and retained possession, custody, and control. These dealers also have to sign a personal guarantee, meaning that they're personally on the hook for it. This is a very serious problem. Sometimes what dealers also will do is they will get two floor plans. They'll get one from the auction, one from a bank, and they'll finance them in two places, which makes it even worse. So if you're a consumer who's purchased a vehicle from a dealer and didn't get the title, you need to check into whether or not it's under a floor plan or a floor line, because that could create some hassles for you without getting some intervention from your local jurisdiction. A lot of times, a magistrate or local court, you file for a court-ordered title and they can resolve it, or the DMV licensing board can resolve it. If you have other questions, you can reach us on our website. We can give you some consultation about how to resolve these kind of issues.